Got some wildlife in the water. Oh shit. V10 400 horsepower. This is the 907 Coupe, and I'm just going to do some navigation through some beautiful but also tight waterways here just south of Gothenburg, Sweden, near the Iron Brothers office. This is a fantastically beautiful place, but right now we're going to focus on the performance. So I'm going to talk to you about speeds when I can. I've got to navigate through an area with some young kids practicing sailing, so I don't want to disturb them too much. So if I go quiet, that's why. Currently sitting on 25 knots, consuming 37 litres, single motor, super efficient hulls, these boats. So great for a day out doing exactly this sort of thing. I've got the roof open, doors closed. I'll open the doors up a little bit later in the video, and we will take it outside of these islands, but the weather's pretty calm, so we don't have much in the way of waves for you. It is predominantly calm conditions. Just going to increase that speed to 27 knots. Coming around this rock here. Got kids up ahead, so if we can do this, we'll find out in a second. All right, I'm going to try and go behind this sailing yacht. Coming through at 28 knots, 43 litres consumption. Going to leave the kids on my port side, and then I'm going to tuck in around and give you a nice little view of this beautiful little spot here in Sweden. Fantastic. We're not going to disturb anyone. That's good. Okay, increasing my speed a little bit. So I really like this V10 400 horsepower. I think the design of this coupe is going to be perfect for so many of you in so many different parts of the world, because we have this weather protection. It is summer here in Sweden, but it gets a little bit chilly. So I completely understand why people would go for a design like this, and I can see a use case in, you name it, every different part of the world, because in the hot places, we also get lots of rain. You could just drive this with the doors open and close the roof as you see fit, and you're obviously going to get a little bit of that sun protection as well. Think about which color you choose though, because I don't see black being super practical in some of the countries I drive, but that's why they have white and a super cool gray as well, so that's not a problem. And just going to get on our new course now. Got a little bit of boat traffic there, got some shallow water up ahead. I'm going to start increasing my speed, 30 knots. So at 30 knots, I'm just doing a little bit of manual trim here, but we do have the active trim. These boats, it doesn't feel like it's even woken up yet. This just feels like a cruise speed. We will get some boat wash in a second. I'll try and take those waves head on. I'm going to do that as soon as I possibly can, and I might just quickly drive into these ones and then get onto my new course. 3, 2, 1, cutting through and getting onto my new course. All right, I'm going to increase speed, but I'm just going to take the boat going through some waves with the waves now. 1, 2. I'm just going to increase from 34 knots at 75 litres consumption, 4,600 RPM, and let's get the boat just to 40 knots. Little push, heaps of power, lots of fun. You can just give a little trim up. I'm just sitting on 41 now, and that's at 76 litres consumption, 4,700 RPM. We have more to play with. I'm actually not going to do it yet, but you could definitely cruise from 30 knots to 40 knots, and we're still under 5,000 RPM. We should, I would expect, as all outboard motors, once we get over that 5,000 RPM, we're going to really suck a little bit of that juice. So let's come back down to what now I would consider a slow cruise or a comfortable cruise on this boat, which is around about that 30 knot mark. Yeah, look at those, 4,100 RPM. We're still at 32 knots. consuming 50 litres. You really can eat up some miles. I'm going to go through this island here, out into the exposed part of the water. This is essentially off into the sea, but there's no waves today, so I can't really demonstrate that for you. And we're just going to go out here and do a hard turn, and then a couple of S-turns just to see how she behaves. I might actually increase that power on the hard turn. Just going to make sure I got my distance off the shallow water. That looks good. Okay, all clear. 32 knots and clear of the shallow bit. Coming out here. 33 knots. So 33 knots just feels like a moderately fast cruise. 30 knots feels like a slow cruise. So from 4,000 to about 4,500 RPM, clear, clear, clear. Let's trim down, hard turn. Oh, she grips, she goes, more power. You can really lock that in, that's awesome. Yes, I like this. That's feedback. V10 makes a big difference there. And then let's back it off, go through our waves, and then let's, hitting the waves now, just do a bit of an S-turn. I'm doing that at 30 to 35. Got shallow water there. Nice. I like the pillars, as we've seen on the previous Coupe, not giving me any loss of visibility. I can see all around, and even in these turns, as I'm observing right now, the roof line, so when I hook it in, I've still got good viz under the roof line there, so that's great. Okay, just back on the navigation here, coming through rocks, clear, 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 looking for traffic, coming in at 35 knots. I want to give us a full speed run as soon as it is safe to do so. Just going to keep entering through this part and start my turn. All right, okay, I got next marker in sight. All right, there's the little rock that I need to go around. The kids are still there. I'll try not to annoy them. 36 knots, 80 litres consumption. Let's get up to 40. .38, 4,800 RPM. So you're really going to be playing in that 4,000 to 5,000 RPM most of the time, is my gut feeling, because it's a fast boat. It feels like it wants to go. It's got no problems doing it. She does like a little bit of trim on the motor just to get a bit more performance, but just factor in whether you are in boat wash or waves and trim it down ever so slightly if it's of concern. These kids are right where I want to go. Okay, I'm just going to have to kind of watch this one, increasing power. Let's really wind this speed up now, but I'm going to try and do this safely. And if the kids are where I need to go, I'm going to have to bail out. Okay, we're going to do it. We're clear, it's safe. Okay, coming through, 45, 46, 47, trimming up. Oh, she fucking goes. Oops, shouldn't have said that, sorry. Sorry, kids. Sorry, mum. Sorry, dad. 48, she's ripping. Oh, this is great. Heaps of power. She's holding that turn nicely, 47 knots. I'm sure I could get a little bit more out of this. Got some wildlife in the water. Oh, shit. Woof! Missed it! Okay. Oh my God. I almost hit a duck there. Okay, we are safe, and the duck is safe too, but I definitely think he shat himself. Anyway, now let's test some of those slower speeds. It was that close. All right, he came out of nowhere. I guess that's what happens on fast boats. He started going that way. I thought I was clear, and he changed direction and went into my path. So what I wanted to show you was what we can sustain at slower speeds, and let's do that now. just so you've got a fuel flow. So at 11 knots, we're getting a fuel flow of only 20 litres, and then let's just get that up to 20 knots, which we haven't really touched on. So this is, I would consider this a super, super slow cruise on this boat. But at 20, 21 knots, we're under 3,000 RPM, 2,800 RPM. I can see a speed of between 20 to 21 knots. If you hit 3,000, call it 3,000, okay? Because we're 2 people on board and a little bit of equipment. I've got to get away from that shallow water. And definitely 28 under 30 litres consumption. So that's pretty good. So from 20 to 30 litres consumption, you can still get a really good speed return. I just don't think many of you are going to drive it like that because it's so much fun. And you're going to want to enjoy yourself. I'm going to open both of these doors now so you can feel or get a sense of the noise levels. See, that's great. Immediately when you open these 2 doors, you can feel a lot of the air wafting into the cabin. So I suspect in most places, unless you're in Dubai, potentially Thailand as well, this is all you need. You don't really need to justify air conditioning a little cabin like this, especially when it's so easy to open those doors and also to operate this roof. Like it's a one-hand operation. That's not hard at all. So just consider where you are in the world and you can make that decision for yourself. Very cool. From here we will go somewhere a little bit more close quarters and work out how easy this thing is to park at a marina and drop the anchor if we find a suitable location, because you can get a bow thruster on this boat. That's something that wasn't available on some of the, or necessary to be fair, on some of the smaller models. Let's do it. Okay, I found a beautiful little spot. It's actually not far from my hotel and I had a nice dinner there last night. And look at this, someone else has got the same idea and they've visited in their iron and I think they're having lunch, so must be the popular thing to do. There is a lot of irons around here. You can see how people find them so practical. So I'm just gonna, I've basically just got the bow thruster on and because I've got the all-around fender like we have on these boats, I don't actually find the need to pull out any floating fenders. It's just not necessary, and I can control the boat here, and I'm going to slow my rate there, and it's that difficult. Like, that's what I love about this iron fender. Now I can just essentially go and sort the boat out, and it's not of the weight that requires me to basically involve the assistance of someone else. I can physically still manage this boat by myself. So even if I wasn't ready with the lines, it doesn't matter so much because I can come straight here where the lines are stowed, sort a line from this aft cleat straight to the dock cleat, and then if I needed to come back to the thruster or do a click forward, I can control the boat for a second while I sort out my springer and my bow line. But that's easy. But what we'll do, I'll just side slip the boat. This is the big difference from the earlier irons without a bow thruster, because with the engine hooked over and some bow thruster, watch this, I can go thrust. So that really buys you a bit of time, because now I can do full lock and turn away, and my risk point, which is that corner there, isn't going to hit anything. That's something you can do only with a bow thruster and single motor. If you didn't have that, your technique for exiting the dock is a slightly different one. It could just be honestly just pushing the bow out with your feet, but this is a much more controlled and elegant way to depart and requires the assistance of less people, which is the whole idea of a bow thruster. So that's good, very good. All right, guys, I hope you enjoy the nice background we've got for you. Let's wrap this video up on the bow. I may move shallow water around here, so we may have to move around and move and talk. So 907 Coupe, who is this boat, or demographic wise, who is going to see the most value out of this boat? Do you need, what sort of experience level do you need? Do you need crew? And what should you consider comparing the boat with? I think we are casting a wide net with this boat because it's a boat that can extend your season or also be suitable in a country with changeable weather. The styling is probably going to appeal to people who have a fast car, have a bit more of a younger vibe about them, but you do you, and remember you can have different colors. So you don't have to have the black, you can dress it up in different ways, and you might find that suits your part of the world or your lifestyle a little bit better. But in terms of the demographic, definitely performance oriented. If you value your time, or if you are short on time, thinking busy mums and dads that have to do the school runs or the school sport runs, but you still want to go to your favorite spot and get all of those other activities done and go boating in the end of the day, you can do that with something like this when you have a fast cruising speed, 23 degrees of dead rise, low fuel consumption, and ease of operation via a cabin. So even if the weather report said it was going to be shitty, and then all of a sudden it was beautiful, like today, you can literally drop everything and go, we're going boating. That's what a design like this brings to you. Okay, I'm still in deep water, that's good. And so if you are comfortable trailering a boat, this is trailerable. So that's also going to open up new areas of operation. It's going to expand your horizons when you don't have access to a trailer. So you can take this boat on holidays. If you're in some parts of the world where that's popular, definitely possible. How much experience do you need? A little bit. It'll do 50 knots. If you don't have the hand-eye coordination and the ability to look out onto the horizon for oncoming traffic or dangers, you could get yourself into trouble. If you don't know how to navigate at speed, you could get yourself into trouble. Don't go jumping onto a boat like this with zero fast boat experience. And if you have zero fast boat experience, that is okay. This fender and the inherent design still lends itself to beginners and intermediate boaters, but don't kid yourself thinking you're going to be able to be driving this thing safely on day one. Ask for help, pay for training, be honest about your level, and then go and have some fun. I really wouldn't recommend, if you've just got your boat license, jumping onto something like this. This is a sports car, okay? But with the right help, hopefully your dealer can guide you in the right direction, you can have the best summer of your life. And the fact that it doesn't burn a lot of fuel, some guys, and I hear this so much, and I've had this experience myself, you end up getting more value out of a little, it's not little, it's the biggest in the range, but out of a little fast fun boat like this than a 40, 50 footer cruiser. It does seem to be the case. Jump in the comments if you know what I'm talking about. What should you compare it with? I do think we're bumping up against some of the adventure boats. Seriously, yes, it's not as wide, it's not as luxurious, doesn't have a big proper cabin and all that. But if you are someone who was just buying an adventure boat for the performance, for the capability, and for the fuel efficiency, this boat does all that. And you can also stick it on a trailer, and it's cheaper. Yes, it's not as overnight capable. So maybe the one time you're going to do that in summer, go and rent a nice hotel room. Seriously think about whether you were going to head in that direction. I would now put this in the same category, being fully transparent that it's not the same style, but it is worth it. So any of the big adventure boat names, Axopar 29, for example, I can see a sensible use case for doing both. So I hope that was useful. I'm going to pop up a competing boat on the screen right now. Please remember to subscribe. It's your support and it's your comments and your activity on this channel which opens doors for me to test other boats. Please remember to tell me what boat you have now and what boat you're comparing this with. That also helps me make content that's hopefully useful for you. So love you lots, guys. See you in the next one. Coming from Sweden on what is now turned into a freaking stunning day. See you, legends.